This is Gangsta Warfare News, tuning in with the topic. GWN will always take a deep dive in stories and documented series of economic problems people face in society's underworld of criminal activity. And better sources to stop crime in an all-time high. For more information, hit the like, share and subscribe for more.
Today's topic is not a special update or a daily news article. This story will be the first that might haunt you in your darkest fears. This is an exclusive true crime topic. For anyone tuning in, we may warn you that what you're about to see and witness is extremely graphic to watch. But it's stories like this that brings anger and chain of events where people faces a national crisis that puts them on a verge of eternal suffering to the point where the people don't have anywhere to go and there's no hope left. In this topic we are going to talk about how these peaceful and traditional lands were like before a man changed everything with a ring of terror. This organization, that proclaimed themselves as Boko Haram, Arabic for Western education is forbidden, is a deadly Islamist terrorist organization that has shared their alliance with Islamic State of Syria and Iraq, better known as ISIS. Founded by Mohammed Yusuf in 2002, the group was led by Abu Bakr Shiko from 2009 until his death in 2021, although it splintered into other groups after Yusuf's death in 2009, as well as in 2015. When the group was first formed, their main goal was to purify, meaning to spread Sunni Islam, and destroy Shia Islam in northern Nigeria, believing jihad should be delayed until the group was strong enough to overthrow the Nigerian government. The group formally aligned itself with the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. The group has been known for its brutality, and since the insurgency started in 2009, Boko Haram has killed tens of thousands of people in frequent attacks against the police, armed forces and civilians. The conflict has resulted in the deaths of more than 300,000 children and has displaced 2.3 million from their homes. Boko Haram has contributed to regional food crises and famines. After its founding in 2002, Boko Haram's increasing radicalization led to the suppression operation by the Nigerian military and the killing of its leader Mohammed Yusuf in July 2009. Its unexpected resurgence, following a mass prison break in September 2010 in Bauchi, was accompanied by increasingly sophisticated attacks, initially against soft targets. On April 14, 2014, Boko Haram's leader broadcasted one of the most shocking and unforgivable confessions that any criminal could ever do. On the footage, you see over 100 of schoolgirls up to the age of 6 and 14 over being broadcasted on live footage as they were about to make the most demonstrating statement ever, as they being forced to pledge of allegiance to the Islamic State. Abubakar Shiko claimed that he was going to sell them to the market. There is a market of selling women, Abubakar Shiko claimed. But in plain terms, what he was referring as getting the girls involving with human trafficking and voluntary enslavement, arms smuggling and other criminal activity in that nature. Officially before that time, some people stated that there have been other armed bandits kidnapping children from their homes and schools. These groups could have or could have not been affiliated with Boko Haram. However, the reason why Abubakar Shiko started the mass abduction because they were under government status. But in the world of radical Islam and anti-Semitic roles is simply profits this. What this gang specialize is. Some girls were trained to use firearms and bombs to participate in attacks on villages, sometimes even their own. Or the group has notoriously used abducted girls and young women as human shields or to carry out suicide bombings. By progressing in 2011 to include suicide bombings of police buildings and the United Nations office in Abuja. Boko Haram began as a non-violent religious movement in 2002 but turned violent in 2009 after a brutal government crackdown and the extrajudicial killing of its founder, Muhammad Yusuf. Under new leadership, it adopted an aggressive strategy involving suicide bombings, armed assaults, and large-scale massacres. The International Criminal Court, ICC, prosecutor has concluded there is a reasonable basis to believe Boko Haram has committed war crimes and crimes against humanity, including rape, sexual violence, and the use of child soldiers. In 2015, Boko Haram pledged allegiance to the Islamic State, ISIS, and renamed itself the Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP. A splinter faction later reverted to the original Boko Haram name, JAS, leading to an internal conflict. Nigeria has been on the verge to be one of Africa's most dangerous countries to ever live. From corruption to political violence, to poverty to anti-extremist. So many people were tragically killed in the endless surge of conflicts involving with anti-Christian and anti-Jew terrorist organizations like Boko Haram. But there are other Islamist groups that are active in the well-known African nations. Groups like Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, ADF, ISIS-K, and local pirate gangs that has connections with these groups. But recently, Donald Trump launched airstrikes on ISIS terror cells across the Nigerian region. Due to another affiliate gang known as ISWAP, one of Boko Haram's biggest rivals, has praised war among Christians and Jews, and want to rule Sharia law over cities, towns, and villages that are highly Christian. And the fight begins with the long-lasting decades of madness. This is Leah Text. Gangsta Warfare News.
ina sayar da mata in ji Allah ta'ala fa darbar riqab hatta idza azhamtumuhum har sai kun jika kasa da jinin arna.
This is Abu Bakar Shikau, the leader of the feared Boko Haram militant group. Little is known about the man whose gunmen abducted 200 schoolgirls from the town of Chibok in the northeast of Nigeria. Filming openly in the region is dangerous, so the BBC has travelled covertly into the north of the country and has gained exclusive access to people who knew him well. Interviews have been done anonymously, as people are too scared of reprisals. This man was a member of what became Boko Haram. He knew Shekau personally.
He's a fanatic, not well versed in Islamic law. He takes hasty decisions and is very hard line on Islamic matters. And even his former mentor was careful around him because he was not open to any form of compromise.
He will have been pleased with all the media attention. He's happy with what they've done. He said that they will sell the girls on as slaves and has made it abundantly clear that they will abduct more girls.
These haunting pictures of the schoolgirls remain the last known images of them. Since the mass abduction in April, there have been further kidnappings of women
In every region, now has the decision to make. Either you are with us, I mean real Muslims who are following Salaf footsteps, or you are with the Obama, Trump, Holland, George Bush, Clinton. I forgot not Abraham Lincoln. Bon Simon and his people generally, and any unbeliever, this is your fate. This war is against Peter. I mean